the Alwars, who had been attracted in the real virtues of Lord Vishnu, had praised the glories of his abodes with their hymns, and so-called abodes have been called as Divya Desams. This has been also termed as Mangalasasanam. Thus the abodes of Lord Vishnu, which had been made Mangalasasanam by the 12 Alwars, are in the numbers of 108. Out of those 108, only 106 are here in the earth, whereas the remaining 2 are said to be in the celestial abodes of Lord Vishnu, named as Thiruparkadal and Vaikundam. So one could able to visit and worship only the 106 Divya Desams in their lifetime, and the remaining 2 might be visited and worshipped only after their death. Suppose if one could have been a good athma, that is, pure soul, they could definitely visit and worship those 2 Divya Desams after their demise. "108 Divya Desams. Out of those 108 Divya Desams of Lord Vishnu, 18 Divya Desams have been residing at the southern Tamil Nadu. Again, out of that 18, there have been 9 Divya Desams situated on the banks of the river Purnai, which is now called as Tamarapurni. These 9 Divya Desams have been made Mangalasasanam by the chieftain of the 12 Alwars, called Alwar, and these 9 abodes of Lord Vishnu have been called as Nava Thirupathy. Out of those Nava Thirupathy, that are 9 abodes, Sri Vaikundam is said to be the first, which has also been called as another Biloga Vaikundam, like Sri Rangam in Trichy. Location. This place has been situated in between Tirunelveli and Thiruchendur, on the north bank of river Purnai, which has been now called as river Tamarapurni, which has been within the reach of 29 km from Tirunelveli, at direct east. To reach this temple, a lot of buses and trains are there from all over Tamil Nadu. To the northeast of this place, there lies the Kailasanathar temple, which is Lord Shiva's temple, which indicates the harmony between the 2 branches of Hinduism. This has the pride of Sri Kumara Karupar Swamigal, who was the founder of Thirupananthal Kusi Mutt, being given birth here. Legend on Sri Vaikundam. Once in the ancient past, a demon called as Surya had stolen the Veda Granthas, which has been said to be the book of birth secrets, from Lord Brahma, whose abode has been the Satya Loka. Having worried about this, in order to redeem his Veda Granthas from that demon, he wanted to make a sincere penance towards Lord Vishnu, for he had sent his thandam, which is the holding stick, when used at penance, to be transformed as a bachelor Brahmin, to the earth so that he could choose a better place for his penance. But that Brahmin bachelor had been caught, in the net of lust, by the Asura Mohinis, that is, demons in the form of beautiful women, and had lost his intention of his coming into the earth. On having known this, Lord Brahma had another plan, that he transformed his kamandalam, that is, water pot, as a woman and sent her, to choose a better place for his penance. That woman had selected a better place, on the bank of the river Tamarabharani, and had informed this to Lord Brahma. Brahma came here, and made a sincere penance towards Lord Vishnu. Having pleased with that penance, Lord Vishnu, as per the wish of Lord Brahma, had fought with that demon Samakasura, and had killed him, and got back the Veda Grandis to Lord Brahma. As Lord Vishnu had been to this place from his abode Vaikundam, as in the posture of raising up and rescue, he had been pleaded to stay there, as in the same standing posture, by Lord Brahma. So Lord Vishnu also accepted his request, and has resided here as Vaikundam Perumal. The sun worships the Lord Vaikundam. This temple has been praised as the sun-worshipping temple, in which, twice in a year, Lord Surya Bhagawan, that is, the sun worships the presiding deity, Lord Vaikundam by his rays, falling down on God's lotus feet. This will occur in the Tamil months of Chivarai and Yapasi, the full moon days, at the time of sunrise. This time is falling down in the English months of April to May and October to November, the full moon days, at the time of sunrise. How Paranthaman became Popundian. The idol that Lord Brahma had consecrated, in due course, became earthbound. That time, that place had been under the reign of Pandya kings. That place had been covered with lush green, and the cows belonged to the palace, were used to feed on them. One of the cows in the herd had milked by itself, on the place where the idol of Vaikundam Perumal had been immersed into the ground. This had been a regular custom of that cow, and it had been noticed by the guards, and they had informed this to the king. Then, after having known this from his guards, the king accompanied with his men went there, and had unearthed the idol of Lord Vaikundam Perumal, and had built a shrine for him, and afterwards, the king had done milk, abhishekam, that is, pouring milk on the idol, daily to the Lord Vaikundam Perumal. As the Lord Vaikundam Perumal has been daily bathed in the milk, He has been called as Pavananather, since the Tamil word for milk has been pal. The legend on Vaikundam became Kalabaran. Once upon, there lived a thief called Kala the Sagan, who had been a devotee of Lord Vaikundam, as he always had the custom of worshipping him, before his every attempt of robbery. Apart from that, he used to share the things he had robbed, with Lord Vaikundam. Even by birth he had been a thief, he was a good man by his heart, that he always helped the poor people with the money he had robbed. One day, he had robbed a huge treasure from the palace, but his colleagues had been trapped by the royal guards, and they in turn had told that Kala the Sagan had been the main culprit of the plot. On having known this, Kala the Sagan had surrendered the feet of Lord Vaikundam, that the Lord could be the ultimate person who had protected him from the royal punishment. Lord Vaikundam himself had called on the king by having transformed as Kala the Sagan and stood in front of the king. Lord Vaikundam, who disguised as the thief Kala the Sagan, had showed the king that he was the Lord Vaikundam, and the king, on having identified the Lord Vaikundam as been disguised as the thief Kala the Sagan, had surrendered at his lotus feet. Then the Lord Vaikundam had taught the king that for the wealth there have been always 4 Thiathas, which are said to be the brothers, namely, Dharma, fire, king, and thief. As the king hadn't protected the citizens from being caught by famine and poverty, Lord Vaikundam had played that drama through the thief Kala the Sagan, and also added that, here afterwards, he could protect his citizen from poverty and famine. So this is the legend that, how the Lord Vaikundam became Kalapiran, that is, the thief, and so called as Surya here.